Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you very much for dialing in. We've got, I see people are still getting logged in, but we're going to go ahead and get things started on time. We do have a hard 11 o'clock stop time, so we want to get started on time so we can get as much information out to you as possible in this 1-hour webinar. My name is Wendy Finch. I'm the Director of Marketing and Professional Services here at the PPI Group. And you probably see on your screen that Patrick Oner is going to be our speaker, and we've had a change. So we are fortunate enough to have folks from Bluebeam Direct come and help us out with this webinar today. So on the webinar, who will be doing the presentation is Marissa Walton, and she also has be assisted by Angela Boudreau. I hope I said that right, Angela. And so Angela's going to help kind of field the questions that come in and so forth. So it is our plan to go ahead and do the presentation, and then there will be, as time permits, a Q&A. Once we get to that 11 o'clock, we will have to end the webinar, but if there are still questions in the queue, our team will follow up with you directly to make sure everybody's questions get answered. So don't hesitate in getting those in, and just go ahead and type those in the toolbar under the questions box as they come up throughout the presentation, and then we'll address all of them at the end, or possibly Angela might address some of them one-on-one with you if it's a quick answer. I'm not sure how the Bluebeam Duo team works, but I do know that they work efficiently. So we're very fortunate to have them on board, and thank them very much for filling in. Just a couple of things regarding PPI offerings. If you go to our website under the You're Invited tab, you'll see a variety of live, in-person, and webinars. We've got a number of webinars coming up in the upcoming months, so please visit our site if you haven't. And if you signed up and received this from a colleague or a friend, I encourage you to fill out on our website as well to receive our emails directly. And I think that is just about it. We are recording this, and it'll be available. Usually takes me about a day and a half to get it published and uploaded. So we upload it to our YouTube channel. We also upload it directly to our website, and it's housed there under webinar videos. And then an email will go out to everybody with the link just to make it easy. So if you have to leave for some reason early, you'll get a copy of the recorded version, and you can also share that and pass that around with your colleagues if you find it to be useful and valuable. So I think that covers all the housekeeping tasks. I got a message here from internally from my office that the sound is good. I'll go ahead and turn things over. Marissa, can you just chime in here real quick so I can get a sound check with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. It's a great privilege to be talking to you today. Wendy, is the sound coming through okay?
It's coming through well for me. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and let you take the controls for the presentation. And if I get a message that it's anything other than good sound, then I'll just sit here and sit on my hands and be quiet.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, again, thank you all so much. My name, again, is Marissa Walton, and like Wendy said, I work here at Bluebeam. My coworker, Angela, will be manning that chat window, so keep those questions coming. Keep us busy. That's how we like it here at Bluebeam. So any questions that pop up, again, please feel free to put those in the chat window. So today I am going to be going over Revu 2017 and all the great new features that we just released on March 7th. Really looking forward to showing those features off today. Before I get started, though, I just wanted to thank PPI Group for orchestrating this event today and inviting you all here to view all these great features. So without further ado, let's just jump into things. So through the years, this slide has changed a little bit. We are no longer just the company that makes smart and simple PDF solutions for working professionals. We've been working hard to push the limits of what can be done with PDFs in these extremely document-intensive industries. And we have been developing innovative solutions that have really set the standard for collaboration and workflow efficiency for AEC professionals worldwide. So think of Bluebeam less as just a PDF tool and more of an AEC professional workflow improvement tool. Some great stats here on the page, just highlighting that we are really an industry standard and used by 94% of top U.S. contractors. Just as a quick reminder, we do have two families of solutions here at Bluebeam. First off is Bluebeam Revu. That's the one you all know and love. It's our end-to-end workflow solution where you can do PDF creating, editing, markup, and collaboration, and is trusted by 1 million AEC professionals worldwide. The second is, of course, Bluebeam Studio, which is our collaboration platform, and it really is meant to connect project partners worldwide in real time on the same set of centralized documents, so everyone that is working on a project is working from one single source of truth. So as I mentioned, Revu is that end-to-end workflow solution. This slide is a great visual representation of just that. No matter where you are in the project lifecycle, whether it be design review or doing RFIs or punch process, even handing over documents for site management, Revu can help you at really any and all stages of your project. So with Revu 2017, the focus and development was to maximize workflow efficiency and enhance these different workflows at different times within the project lifecycle. So the focus was on quantity workflow as well as automation and visualization tools. Those are kind of the two buckets that you're going to see today in Revu 2017's new features. And I do want to mention and take the opportunity to thank you all for the feedback that you submit. We really look to our customers to understand what you all are doing within the software and how we can maximize your workflow. So we listen to the suggestions that you make. Of course, you can always send your suggestions if you have one today to suggestions@bluebeam.com. We listen to all those suggestions and really focus on how to help you all. So with that being said, in the next few years, you're going to see that Revu is going to evolve as your needs do. So with that being said, first off is quantity takeoffs. And we focused on quantity takeoffs to help you deliver a better bid. So we have 4 features that are found in Revu 2017 that are going to enable you to do just that, deliver a better bid. So first off is dynamic fill, which is going to give you the ability to do accurate takeoffs faster than ever before. Quantity link, which is an extreme-only feature that is going to link Revu to Excel and open up the lines of communication there. Really, really cool. I'm excited to show you that one. Measurement tool enhancements and count tool enhancements. Next up are those automation and visualization tools to really help at any stage of the project. Of course, We have first up automatic form creation, which is an extreme only feature, and batch sign and seal, which is also an extreme only feature. And both of those are going to speed up the way that you are being able to utilize these documents. And then third here, we have the visualization enhancements with 360-degree photos. And lastly, we have 3D PDF enhancements. So both of those are really great as well, and I'm going to show those off. Let's just get this set up. Sorry, one moment, please. Perfect. All right, moving right along. Into the demonstration without further ado. So again, going to be showing you off the two buckets. First, we're going to start off with the takeoff features. So let me go ahead and open up a document here that we're going to be working on. Right off the bat, you'll notice over here in the corner that there is actually a profile embedded into this document. And profiles, of course, are saved configurations of our interface. So what happened here was that someone on my team actually created a profile with tools and custom columns. And so all I had to do to get all the tools I need today for today's demo, I just had to double click here. And all of that information was loaded into Revu for me. So all I had to do again was double click and push open. I won't right now just because I already have it loaded. Just to keep me honest, you can see that I'm in that profile now. So let's take a look at what happened when I double clicked on this profile. We'll start with the custom columns that were brought in here. So down below in my markups list, you'll notice that I have two custom columns. And we can take a look at both of those, of course, by clicking on the little gear wheel and going to custom columns. And here they are. So the first one is my choice column, and we can take a look at what this looks like. So we have a bunch of different materials here. All are associated to a cost. We put in a cost for, if we take a look at carpet, $3.50 per square foot. So all this information is going to be loaded for me when I'm going through my demo today. The second custom column I have here is for material costs. And you'll notice this one is actually a formula column. So Revu is going to be doing some math on my behalf, which is fantastic because I don't want to get out my calculator. It's even faster than anything you can imagine. So what it looks like here, of course, is taking our measurement that we're going to be making, multiplying that by the material cost, and then it's going to give me the total as I'm doing my takeoff today. So these custom columns were loaded in with this lovely profile, and then also off to the left-hand side, if we go to our tool chest, you'll notice that there's an advanced material takeoff tool set with all sorts of different tools that have been preloaded. Lucky me, my takeoff and estimation work today is going to be so fast because all of this was done behind the scenes. With any sorts of measurements within Revu, of course, you want to start off by calibrating the document. So making sure Revu knows exactly the scale that we're working with today. So I'm going to go ahead and take the longest point I can, push shift on my keyboard here so I get that straight line. And I'm going to make sure Revu knows this is 16 feet. And let's go ahead and just double check my work, make sure everything looks good. And sure enough, we are good to go. The calibration was successful. The other thing I want to do, and this is just suggestions, best practices, things that we see other customers doing, is going ahead and setting up a legend. So legends are not new with Revu, but it's a nice best practice because you get a good screenshot of everything we are going to be putting down on the page. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new legend and set it down here on the page. Let's just make that a little bigger. And I'm also going to want to go ahead and change or add a different column here. So I'm going to want to look at my label column as well. All sorts of different options here. But for now, just label and push OK. So now we have this new information added here. And now we're good to go. So let's jump into things. I am so incredibly excited to show off this the first new feature to Revu 2017. So previously, if you wanted to take an area measurement of, say, this bathroom, you would, of course, go to your area measurement and click around each point in this room, or click and drag if you were lucky enough to have it be a simple enough layout in a room, and then go through all the different measurements you need. But I'm happy to say there's an even faster way of doing things now, and it's called dynamic fill. So if I click on dynamic fill, I can go ahead and add a boundary line here. So if I wanted to go ahead and close off my two bathrooms, so Revu knows that this is the boundary of the space that I'm trying to take a measurement on, I will do that quickly. And then I can go ahead and grab this nifty paint bucket tool and go ahead and actually fill in the space. So you can get really granular, zoom in, make sure you have everything highlighted. The second one I'll go a little faster on. But really great. It's like adult coloring. You're able to enjoy having that new feature. I think it's just super satisfying myself to kind of go through each room and highlight all of this information. So great. I was able to fill in those two bathrooms. And now I can go across the top here and choose every type of measurement that I want to apply. I can even create spaces. So if I wanted to create spaces for these bathrooms, I could label this space bathroom. You can do a polygon markup. You can do an area measurement. We definitely want to do an area measurement. We're doing some takeoffs. So let's go ahead and make the flooring concrete. Let's go ahead and we don't need a poly length. Let's do a perimeter measurement. We want to get some, let's say, tile base, sure, or volume. But for now, that's all I need to do this specific takeoff. I'm going to click apply. And all that information was applied to these two spaces with just a click of a mouse. I can go through here and make sure my spaces are appropriately named. So if I wanted to go ahead and name this bathroom specifically, room 122, and this bathroom 123, you can do that no problem. Edit that information however you need to. If you make some sort of mistake here, you can click control points and bring out your measurement. You can also control the boundary line, so you have it the right size you need. Maybe you can make sure it's the same size as the walls here. So get really specific with it. I obviously just did that quickly to show it off, but really great feature to deliver that accurate information. Another great new feature is our polylength tool. So if I wanted to show off that feature, let's take a look at these sinks here. And if I was working on trying to figure out how much pipe I need to run between these sinks, I'm going to, of course, go through each of these sinks real quick. And then I click enter. And so now it'll give me a running total and a breakdown between the sinks of each of these measurements, as well as that running total here at the end. So I'm able to see how much pipe I will need to order and what it'll look like between the sinks. If I wanted to break off two of these measurements from the rest, really simple to do. All you have to do is right-click and split. So now this is split from the other total. Both of them, of course, updated with the control points that we had put in. I'm going to go ahead and put that back there for now. and show you one other great new feature, which is rise and drop. So if I wanted to go up a floor, or say down a floor in this example, down a floor with my pipe, I can now account for that. So if I wanted to put in that actually there's an 8 feet drop to the floor below it, I can put in 8 feet, and that information has updated for me here, as well as my full total. Moving right along. So we have a beautiful ramp here. If you've had to try and figure out calculations in Revu previously, trying to account for slope of a roof or slope of a ramp, you were probably building these custom columns down below with all sorts of trigonometry and math. But I am happy to say that Revu 2017 is going to make your life a lot easier because we can now calculate slope. So let me go ahead back to my good old friend Dynamic Fill, and let's take a look at what slope looks like. So if I go ahead and fill in this ramp, I don't have to do I don't have to do any boundary type activity because it's a totally enclosed space. And then I can go to our area measurement, and let's do concrete again and apply. So now I have our measurement here accounting for the area. Let's go ahead and add our measurement of slope here. So if I wanted to go ahead and make sure that Revu knows that there is a degree, an 8-degree slope here, I can push enter here on my keyboard. And right away, our area measurement updated with that slope of 8. All that math is being calculated for us, and we don't have to do it ourselves. Isn't life lovely? Great, great feature. But another one that I want to show off today is a cutout. So previously, we only had access to the polygon cutout, which was really hard if, say, you had to make a circle for a manhole cover. So if I am going to have a manhole cover on my ramp 4 here, keep your eyes here on the area measurement. As soon as I apply our new manhole cover, it'll take that area measurement and subtract it from our total. So it can account for these circular cutouts now and is all updated automatically. All right, so we're moving along with our takeoff. Now we need to take a look at sinks. I need to know how many sinks are on this wide format drawing so I can account for them and make sure that I'm ordering enough sinks. So previously, what we would do is go ahead to our friend visual search, grab a rectangle, and we would go around our sink here and click search. And basically now what Revu is doing is going through this entire document, searching for these sinks. And it will take the visual properties of the sink and look at multi-directions. So for example, it will account for the sinks that are facing the other way. And it did just that. So it went through the entire document on my behalf, found all my sinks. So now I can go ahead and count them all. So I'm going to highlight all of them, make sure all of them are checked off down below, and then go over to my count measurement. And previously, all we could do was apply an account with one of these visual properties above. Now, in Revu 2017, you can apply a markup with a cost associated to it with this visual property, all within a click of a button. If you remember, again, this was loaded in my lovely profile that was on this document. And I click on plumbing. There we go. All my sinks were highlighted. And if I go down to my markups list, you will see that I have my count, 11 sinks, and I have my material cost. All of these purple markups on the page are associated to a cost, and Revu has that running total for me down below. The fun with counts does not stop. Let's take a look at creating your own. If you wanted to create your own count markup, all you would have to do is take a snapshot, if you will, of this toilet. We're going to just do toilets today. I'm going to go ahead and paste that down onto my page, and we'll move it up here. Right-click on it, and you can change the colors. So I can go ahead and change this toilet to green, so we can make sure we see it appropriately. And I'm going to add it to my tool chest in my advanced markups takeoff. So now it's down here at the bottom. And I want to make this into my count tool. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I click on my new toilet down here, right-click on it, and create count. Now I have that exact same markup with a 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and that is now a count measurement. So then I can go through my document and count my toilets this way if I'd like to. All that information is down below, of course. So we have this lovely takeoff that I've been working on. It's beautiful. And there's a few ways that I can start sharing this information. Of course, we have this lovely legend that has been updating for me with every markup that I've placed down on the page. We also have, of course, our markups list where we can create summaries and send that information off to other people. But with Revu 2017, one of our new features is called Quantity Link. So basically, what that looks like is this. All of this information that's been going on the page has been linking to my Excel document for a bid, all behind the scenes. I have not had to put in this information. It has all loaded for me. Really, really simple process to get this set up. So if you have your bid that you have all your information loaded into, you don't have to recreate this Excel document every single time you're doing a takeoff. All you have to do is right-click here and change the source file. If I wanted to work on a different file in Revu and have all that information loaded into this Excel document, I change my source file. Let's go ahead and remove the one we've been working on. And we're going to go ahead and add this material takeoff. Click OK here. And let's go ahead and open it up in Revu so you can take a look at what it looks like. Here we go. So this takeoff is a little bit more detailed than the one that I just went through with you. But you'll notice that if we wanted to take a look and make sure everything is actually linking like I say it's linking, we can go ahead and let's take a look at concrete 01. Here's concrete 01. As soon as I'm going to make this area measurement, keep your eyes over here on my Excel document. You're going to notice that the quantity changes as soon as it goes onto the sheet here. Keeps updating. So this live link into Excel is going to speed up the process even further. So this actually rounds up the first portion of the new features focused around takeoff. Next, I'm going to take a dive into our visualization and automation tools. So let's go ahead and take a look at those automation tools first. So let me close this up real quick, and open up an example of our first one. So here I go. I have an RFI template here, but there's no form fields. I can't fill this information out. Of course, I can print it out, but what fun is that? In the past, what folks were doing in Revu were making their own form fields on each of these lines. But now, with Revu 2017, we have auto form creation. So if I go to form up top and click auto create, Revu just filled in all of these different form fields for me. It even found the signature field down here at the bottom and this description text field. And if you look off to the left-hand side, all of them are labeled with the text that is in front of the form field, and assign the correct form field, again with that signature down below. This one I think is going to make a lot of people extremely happy. It's just a great new feature to speed up time even more. All right, next up is batch sign and seal. This one I think is going to make a few of your mouths drop to the floor. I imagine this is going to save a lot of people a lot of time. So I'm going to set up this example here by going to our batch features and sign and seal. And I'm going to add some files here. So I'm going to go ahead. These are all files that I need to put my signature on and stamp my approval on. They're going to be all different sizes of files and document sizes. It doesn't matter. I'm going to load them all at one time and click Next. And now it's going to give me a nice preview of what's going to happen on each of these sheets. So I can go ahead and add my digital signature, put in my password. You can put any reasoning or other information you want in here, as well as a date. I'm going to go ahead and just put my seal of approval on here. So now I have both my signature and my seal. I'm going to go ahead and move these. I need my signature here. I need my stamp here. I can resize them to make sure they fit correctly where I need them to. And then, as promised, there's some different page sizes. So I'm going to need to see how that looks on other pages. We have an 8x11 here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. Same thing. I'm going to go ahead and move my stamp here and my signature to where they need to go. And then last size here, I'm going to do that one as well and move my information to where it needs to be. So what's going to happen is I'm telling Revu where it should be placing my signature and my stamp on these specific sizes of paper. Then all I have to do is click Done. And let me open that up. It applied my stamp and my signature to each one of those pages automatically. So you can do that on hundreds of different documents and put your signature and your stamp on it. If for any reason that PDF has been changed at any point, it will wipe your signature from that file and it's no longer valid, because obviously we want to protect your security and make sure that your signature is on the document that you intended it to be on. All right, so last but not least, of course, is our visualization enhancement. So we're going to start off with an example for 360-degree photos. So here is a good example of that. You can notice here that there is actually a picture that has been embedded into this PDF with a note. It says Progress Update. So all I have to do is double click on it, and you'll see up here in the corner that it says 360 degrees. And that is because this is a 360-degree photo. I am able to share what this space looks like with this photo. You can even zoom in and out if you'd like to, get a good sense of the space at every degree. We support a variety of different 360-degree cameras, all of which you can find on our website, or feel free to, of course, reach out to PPI Group. They'd be happy to find out if the 360-degree camera you currently have is supported in Revu. We are constantly adding more, so that list will be changing and updating with more and more. I will go ahead and move on here to the last enhancement that we have made with Revu 2017, which is around 3D PDFs. So I'm going to open up a 3D PDF here and introduce you to our model tree and what that looks like. So here is a great 3D PDF. I can spin it around. I can take a look at different aspects of it. That's all old news. We've been able to do that in Revu for a while. But let me go ahead and bring my 3D model tree down here to the bottom. And you're going to notice that it looks very familiar. It looks similar to our markups list. And that Excel type looking spreadsheet of a lot of data down here. Some of the changes that have occurred, there is now a search bar. So I can type in Windows, and Revu went ahead and grayed everything else out on my 3D PDF. So I'm able to focus in on my windows. I can click on it, and it takes me to it down here in the model tree, the specific window. I can change the metadata in here now. If I wanted to change the color of this window to really draw attention to it, I can do that. I can even change this element ID down below if that was supposed to be a 9 instead of an 8. So being able to manipulate this data down below even more so and search for the features that I need to find within my 3D PDF. I really do want to show off quickly that there are some columns that are turned on, and Revu just automatically is going to show you the columns down below here that have the most metadata associated to it. But if you wanted other columns turned on, you can absolutely do that. All that information that's being brought over from the document or the software that this was created in is brought into Revu. You can turn it on and off and be able to view it as you need. Of course, you can always create a summary of all this information and export it out of Revu. And that actually wraps up our new features. I hope you enjoyed all of the different features that have been added. If you want to upgrade to Revu 2017 or download a free trial, actually test out these different features, please contact the PPI group. They have access to give you those 30-day free trials, as well as answer any questions that pop up once you're playing within the software. They are happy to help. And with that said, I'll turn it back over to Wendy.
So with that, I think that concludes today's webinar with Bluebeam. Again, I want to thank Marissa and thank you, Angela, for helping behind the scenes. Appreciate your time, and we're going to go ahead and sign off. And thanks again to Bluebeam, and thanks for all of our attendees. We look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. It was such a privilege to talk to you, and thank you, Wendy.
Thanks, Marissa. See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.